Cool. Let's get started. Excellent. Alright. I changed the string preset, so hopefully I will not run into encoding overload issues, but that really depends on how it works in the more action-intensive parts.
Do you see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Thank you, Zoro.
I'm skeptical.
Right. All right.
Possible. Again, I don't really like... I guess I could increase the actual gain on my microphone. There we go. Maybe a little softer. Because I feel like when I go too high, it just makes my voice sound awful and blows it out. But hopefully this is good. Also, I am not talking very loud because my throat is scratchy for some reason. Don't take it down, but if anyone has a shot, it'll be you guys eventually. You can bring other people along with you. Well, I gotta take care of you sooner or later. Okay. That is how that works. I just didn't want to miss this while it was here. Have fun with that. I think I'm gonna make one quick... There we go. Now we are Catboy. Let's go fight Balseph.
All right, everyone. It's time. Remember, eyes on the prize. We're after Balseph, nothing else. Cut off the head, and the snake perishes. Hit them head on, however, and we won't make it through the castle gates, let alone reach Balseph himself. Luckily, we have an ace up our sleeve. We need to do everything in our power to make sure that ace reaches Balseph's jugular. To that end, I'll be splitting us up into separate forces.
You just said all of us hitting them head-on would be useless. Why would we divide ourselves up?
Because we're not hitting them head-on?
We'll buy our ace in the hole the time they need to get in. We only need to cause enough of a ruckus around the castle to distract the enemy. That said, we need to look like the real deal, which is why I'll be tagging along too.
You too, Zephyr? So, who's going to take on Balseph?
The Iron Mask. I'm counting on you and Shion to make your way to wherever Balseph's hiding. Once there, you drive that flaming sword right through him.
You aren't seriously sending in just those two, are you? One of them's a Renin.
No one said the plan was perfect. By far, the biggest danger is the one you two will be facing. The fate of this quest rests entirely in your hands, which is why you get the final say. You want out? Now's the time to say so.
And if we say no?
And we don't know the game.
Just means we're back to square one, that's all.
And I go back to being a slave.
It's your life.
No, it isn't.
Ball's in your court, soldier. What do you say?
I want to fight.
But for what? What are you fighting for?
To free the Dahnans from the yoke of their abusive oppressors. To no longer die at the whim of another. To break the shackles of our enslavers. To live and taste freedom!
Now you're talking. I believe we have our ace in the hole, people.
And he is a
Hold on
cat.
to that belief, and we just might break through that wall yet. And what about you?
I was born ready. Now can we get this show on the road?
There's a gate on your right once you leave here. Go through it and ride the elevator you'll find. I'll send ahead a few friendly faces to keep watch on your way. If you get into any trouble, look to them for support. We all clear? Good. May this battle herald the end of the Renan's bloody 3-century reign. To your battle stations, everyone.
Okay, that's an owl. I just realized that. I thought I heard that before, but thought it was just some jackass who was exercising or something. There we go. Owl tails.
Woohoo! I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought. I still can't believe this is happening. We're really about to face off against a Renan Lord.
Well, you're in pretty high spirits for a guy going into a life-and-death battle.
I'm not saying I'm not worried. But you have to remember, this is the first time any of us Dahnans have really had any hope. What about you? You scared at all?
I don't have time to be scared. This is only the first step in a long, long plan of mine.
You might say it's about
You
an
want to take
80-hour
down all
plan,
5 lords, right?
depending on how much you want to
It's
do
hard
all
to
of the
believe it'll ever
subquests.
happen.
But it will.
I know. I haven't forgotten our deal.
See that you don't. That said, if we lose, we might suffer a fate worse than death, you know.
That's probably true. But instead of worrying about it, wouldn't it be a better use of our time to figure out ways to avoid that and not lose?
I suppose.
Whatever happens, I'll put everything I have into winning. You can count on that.
I'll not get caught in an anxiety death spiral. Can't relate. It has arrived? Will you sit down, Lily? Doesn't seem like it. She just wants to rub head against hand, even if hand is currently holding controller. Come on, baby. Come on. Lie down. And I'm going to have a special treat for the stream as long as it's delayed by real world cat activity. Live cat feed. That's right, baby. You're on TV now. There you go. That's a good girl. You gonna make friends with our friend our friend Catboy in the Iron Mask? Cat. I would like her to, like, lie down. Come on, baby. It's okay. Come on. Settle in. I'm gonna be playing a JRPG, which means we'll be here for a while. Come on. Come on, Lily. Whatever. We'll keep actually playing as long as she's figuring stuff out.
Balsef's castle should be just above us.
All right. And let's use that elevator thing.
Here we go. Why are you glowy? Is that bad for you to be glowy?
Out of our way!
Take it! You're finished!
Mega
Win!
Ray! By the
Take
power
it!
of water!
You're finished! You're mine!
Sighted!
Take it! Pierce through!
Take it! You're
Severing
mine!
wind! Take it!
Know why you were glowy, but
Barely a blip on our radar.
yeah, that. She keeps not wanting to actually be within my arm grasp. So she's just choosing to lie directly on my hand.
Right, here goes! Cast Demon
One
Fang!
more! Mega Ray!
Pierce through! It's over! I'm not done! Sonic now!
Mega Ray!
Severing wind!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Okay. How's this? Are we good with this, kitty? Oh no, she's probably going to, like, start trying to sit on my mouse. She does that a lot. Or she'll just move the mouse, trying to direct the camera. It's just a very shy, anxious kitty in general. Glanamede Castle.
Zephyr and the Crimson Crows are supposed to be distracting the Renans from the front.
Then let's go around and sneak in elsewhere.
That's different from the Crimson Crows! Get him out!
I hope he's gonna be okay.
Is now really the time to be worrying about him? We've still got a job to do. I'm surprised there are owls
Why was
here,
that
too.
elf voiced by Patrick
More of them
Saints?
around than I thought. gates of fire sure look intimidating once you see them up close. We can't say this place is truly liberated until we do something about them.
What are you muttering about? Stay focused. We still have to take down Balseth.
Back entrance begin up here. Is this the back entrance? It is not.
We should be getting close to the service entrance.
Good. Let's get in there and kick their asses.
I've been holding this position for like 5 minutes. Been waiting for you guys to show up.
Idea of a bridge?
Looks like
So that I could say my pointing was used for
short story.
something. This sounds like a late game dungeon of different Tales games, to be honest.
It's already started. We need to hurry.
Hold on. You should take the blazing sword.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We don't know what might happen up ahead. It's better to have it and be ready than to be caught in a fight without it.
Just reach right in there, Iron Mask. Just reach out there and grab her sword.
With flames.
I took the liberty of cutting the flow of energy from the Master Core. I may be giving you the sword, but you still need me to unleash its power. Try not to forget that.
Would you like to pet the cat, Zoro? Infernal Torrent. A blazing sword attack that burns the area around the enemy tool. Crisp inflicts self-damage. So I've heard that when you learn all of the skills on these titles, yeah, you get big stat bonuses, which are actually very useful. So I should really start working on that. Like, let's have her... I mean, working is not exactly a... Yeah, like Ratchet and Clank. And I mean, working isn't exactly that, like we're not actively putting skills towards this until we actually learn it, we're just saying. Hold it down almost any way, that's why there's gains additional HP. Cool.
Where the hell is Balseth? If we don't hurry up and find him...
Those wings
You're
clipping
too
through
close.
him!
Try to stay farther apart.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Was I really that close?
Dude, you're
I
so
guess I'm
close.
just not used to
The
standing
wings
right next
are
to
clipping.
people.
You mean because of your thorns? You're a surprisingly nice person.
What?
You don't think so? I mean, you just made sure your thorns wouldn't...
You can keep your opinions to yourself. You don't know the first thing about me.
I'm not saying I know everything about you. Sheesh. I need to bite my head off.
You just can't take a hint, can you?
What? I'm sorry. You're right. I don't know what sorts of hardships you've been through. After all, what could I possibly know about pain?
I know you didn't mean anything bad by what you said. The throne room is up on the next floor. That's probably where we'll find Balseph.
You thought we were done? No, more talking.
Hey,
What?
if there's something you want to say, just come out and say it.
Huh?
I hate when I feel like people are laughing at me on the inside. Especially someone like you where I can't read your expression.
What? Why would I laugh at you? What are you talking about?
My outfit. As soon as you saw me in those ruins, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
Oh, it's not that. It's just...
Just what?
I'm still an anime boy.
nothing.
I'm still confused
You're
by
a truly
Horny.
awful person. You know that?
An awful... Hey, you're the one jumping to conclusions about what I think. You're not one to talk.
Then prove me wrong and tell me what you were really thinking.
It wasn't anything mean about you, I promise.
I don't believe that for a second.
And it doesn't matter what the hell I tell you. You'll always doubt me.
I am never going to get used to menu being the touchpad / select button. Oh, wait a minute, where's this flaming sword thing? Do I have to equip it or something? Oh, it's a boost attack. Okay. Then I'm probably gonna get another tutorial on how to use it.
Just a minute.
Use a flaming edge, which is a destroy. Costs no AG. They do extra damage to downed enemies, and you can hold the button for longer to exchange more HP for more power. Hold the button assigned to Swallow Blade.
Time is...
Yes, Swallow Blade, that art I'm definitely still using.
This blazing sword can truly do. I won't show you any mercy.
Ooh, nice.
You're mine. Try harder. Now. Strike. Infernal turret.
And now she's standing on the mouse. Boost strikes are one-hit kills. When you see the word strike, press the D-pad to use one immediately. A curveball for the lower enemy be at a higher combo price.
Try harder. Mega ray. Sonic thrust. Swallow blade. No escape.
Hear me, flame of fury! Burning!
Here I come. Strike. Swallow blade. Try this.
Mega ray.
Infernal turret.
Seven-Eye Aqua! Do it!
Chill.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Woohoo! Shit! That just ended the fight. Oh, and she's gone.
Amazing.
Alright. I apologize. I will remove Pam for the time being until she returns.
Got it.
I need to be stronger.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
Sure.
It took a whole 8 CP out of me.
We can cross through now.
Good. We're
It also
pressed
set
for
his
time.
hand on fire. Okay, so I could skip the fight by using CP to get past the obstacle. Or I could destroy the obstacle and then do the fight anyway.
No choice.
Oh, that's a lot of dudes.
Try this. Inferno Torrent. You're finished.
They really don't give up, do they?
You've got spirit!
Ignite. Swallow blade.
Woohoo!
Take this. I owe you one.
By the power of water!
Severing wind. Take this.
I never miss!
Inferno Torrent.
Healing art!
Take this. Take this.
Oh, I see. They sort of had like a secondary break gauge. There are multiple mechanics in this called break, or boost attack, or boost strike. I don't know how I feel about that.
Here, let me help!
Sonic Thrust.
Mega Ray!
Win. You're mine. Mirage.
Boom.
Barely a blip on our radar.
I don't know, I feel like we took a lot of damage in that, but... I would like the cattail.
Looks like there's still some soldiers inside the castle.
It's still less than it would usually be. The diversion must be working.
Everyone, stay safe.
Having second thoughts?
No, I was just thinking about the blazing sword. Whenever I hold it, I feel wrong somehow.
Is relying on a sword from a Renan Master Core that repulsive?
It's not about that. It's just... It's hard to explain. It's like the sword is almost too strong.
I don't know what's got you so worried, but in case you forgot, that sword is the only reason we have a fighting chance against a lord.
I know. You don't need to keep telling me.
Well, good. That said, the longer you use it, the more you get burned by it, too. We need to remember to patch you up quickly when that happens. A double-edged sword in every sense. Since you can't feel pain, you'll need to be careful, okay?
Are you actually worried about me?
Is that a problem? Look, I need you if I'm going to take out the lords, and I can't have you dying on me before that happens. That's my only concern.
Uh-huh.
Out of our way!
Here I come! Sonic Thrust!
I'm only getting started! Mega Ray!
Finish! Take this! Sonic Thrust!
Take
Severing wind!
Mega Ray!
I think she's saying
Let's keep
Mega
our eyes
Ray,
on the
not
prize.
Magna Ray. Is this the first? Yeah. Ooh. I am sort of burning through cure points very quickly.
An opponent like this should be easy. This one's all mine. I'm not done.
Hear me, flame of
You're on.
fury! Hear me, flame of fury!
You're mine.
Locked and ready.
It's over.
I never miss!
Pierce
Who
through.
wants to die next?
Sonic thrust. Pierce through.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
It's making the game flow a lot smoother, but I do miss the victory scenes.
It's so hot. I can definitely believe they're harvesting fire astral energy out here.
Is it that bad?
I forgot. You can't feel the heat.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Now you'll learn!
Take this. It's over. Sonic thrust. Pierce through. Ignite. Win. You're mine.
Do
You're
it.
on. Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Okay, that
Our
got
work
both
is
of them.
done here.
Nice.
Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Plus 20 score. Sure, let's raise her attack. Bring her gun a little more up to scratch with the sword. Because this is a JRPG, and guns are weaker than swords, obviously. Gels used to be percentages. I don't know if this is a new thing. I can't remember what they were in Berseria, which is the most recent one.
Get lost!
I don't know how I feel about them being hard numbers now.
Mega
Severed
Red!
wing. Take this.
Do it!
It's over. Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Sick. And that kills all of them? Holy shit.
Barely a blip on our radar.
That's just a cinematic finish to the whole fight, alright.
What's going on over there?
Are those armed soldiers ganging up on a kid?
They're attacking him. We have to save him.
You will kneel before our Lord!
We'll see about that!
Here I come. It's over.
Mega Red!
Pierce through. You're mine. You're on. No escape. Sonic thrust. Win. Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Fine. Oh no, has your soul been sucked
Are
out
you
through the
okay?
X-Sphere?
What were you even doing here?
I mean, the embedded astral stone, whatever.
Working, most likely. Danon slaves that can't handle manual labor outdoors are put to work in the castles as servants. I'm surprised you didn't know.
The soldiers got really mad all of a sudden and everyone ran away! I was the only one that got caught.
And it's good that we found you, but it's still not safe here.
That
You
kid
need to
sounded
get out of here
really
before any
familiar.
more soldiers
I
find
know
you.
that
Understand?
actress.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for saving me. Oh, here! You can have this!
Like,
Don't
I know
touch
I've heard
me.
that exact kid voice before. I just can't remember who.
I'm sorry. I only wanted to...
It's not your fault, kid. Don't sweat it. Can I take it instead?
Sure, it's the key to the elevator here. Will it help you guys at all?
Definitely. Thanks, kid.
Roughly Nolan North.
Now get going. And be careful on your way out. So, not too happy about a slave touching you, huh?
No, she was afraid she was gonna fry the little kid.
This isn't the time. We should keep moving.
Come on, Iron Mask. Dice. Kicks an enemy into the air and then shoots them. What a good technique. More art gauge points would actually be really cool, and it's the last one for this title, so as much as I want to make perfect evading easier, let's see. Feel the button to throw a bomb to fire special. Okay. Like with
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
the art she just learned, I guess?
This place looks damn near the same on the outside as it does on the inside. Nothing but fire and rocks. I figured a Renan castle would at least be a little more elegant. Instead, it seems this one was very dedicated to a theme.
Is that your idea of a joke? Don't lump the rest of us in with someone like Balseph.
Then why's his place look so grungy?
I guess you could say that's just the majority of what he's into. He likes fire and he likes rocks. He's an egotistical brute without a single shred of class. He even makes everyone call him by his stupid nickname, the Wild Beast. I feel sorry for everyone who's stuck having to work beneath him.
Huh. Interesting.
Why?
I used to think all Renans were like him. Terrible people obsessed with their own superiority, who are only out to make us miserable.
I mean,
But now,
they probably
listening
are.
to you talk makes me realize that maybe there are some good ones
By and
too.
large, they probably are like that.
Maybe
They're
there
just
are
more
a few of
refined
you that
about,
are
you know,
different.
respectability
Listen,
politics.
I don't know what kind of Renan you think I am, but I have no intention of getting friendly with you. We clear?
Crystal, believe me, I wasn't about to suggest we go hang out and have a drink after this, that's for sure.
Besides, how would I even drink with the Metna?
What the hell is that thing?
A spirit vessel. It's what the Renans use to harvest astral energy from Danans.
So that's where it all ends up, huh? Damn them.
What are you talking about? This thing? Something in here?
Right, here goes! Try this! Infernal Torrent!
Oh, nice.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Orange gel, very precious. I like that all of the items to pick up are very explicitly marked instead of just being hidden in pots or whatever.
I'm only getting started.
Try
Try this! Infernal turret!
Woo! No recovery yet.
Sonic thrust! Eat this! Swallow blade! Try this!
Here's a healing.
I owe you one.
Very nice.
Well then, let's keep moving.
What are those things I sometimes see you chuck out in the middle of fights?
What? You mean my bombs?
Bombs? As in the things people use to clear out rocks? But I could have sworn I saw something other than fire burst from some of yours.
That's because these
My
aren't ordinary
bombs.
bombs. They're specially
I'm
made
sorry, that
ones
was a
filled
terrible
with astral
Borat
energy.
impression.
Okay. And why do you shoot the bombs after you release them?
It's a part of my strategy. The effects of my bombs change when I fire bullets of a different astral element at them. It makes it difficult for enemies to predict what effect they'll have, or when they'll go
I
off.
really like how much of
One
the
moment
frame
you're
her
using
wing is
powerful
taken up.
bombs. Next you're using powerful healing arts. They're kinda on the opposite ends of the spectrum, aren't they?
Think of it this way. If you ever get caught up in the blast of one of my bombs and you manage not to die, I'll be able to heal you using my arts.
I'll do my best to not die then.
Is Hawkeye the healer of the Avengers? Is that what you're getting at, Zoro? I don't know. I've known some arrows to heal when shot at people.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
I'm very distressed that the owls have like perfect. Like they don't sound like they're hooting. They sound like humans pretending to hoot.
Guess this thing needs a different key to activate.
Out of our way!
Yeah.
Here I come! You're finished!
Insects should stay on the ground.
You're mine! We got fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
I feel like we actually get a glimpse of what they intend Avengers Party composition to be in the official Marvel's Avengers video game by Square Enix, but that involves playing the Marvel's Avengers game.
I won't forgive you!
You got spirit!
Burning strike!
Here I come! It's over! Here I come! You're on!
Take it! I'm
You're
moving!
mine! You're finished!
This one's mine!
Sonic thrust! Pierce through! Swallow blast!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Is this always taking out the last enemy? And I'm
Let's keep our
being
eyes on
lucky
the
every
prize.
time, or does it actually kill every enemy left on the field?
Out of our way!
Take this! You're finished!
Mega Ray! Time to power up!
Yeah. I could not remember what the change target button was. So, and
Sonic thrust! Severing wind! Take this! Go to hell! You're mine! Infernal turret! I'm not done! Sonic thrust! Sonic thrust!
Seems about right to me.
Finally, somebody using myriad right. Myriad is an adjective, it is not a noun. I have fewer grammar pet peeves than I used to. That is still one of them.
That's not your run-of-the-mill enemy.
It just auto-saved. How bad is it? Level 13! It seems doable.
Don't get careless.
Take this! Don't tell me!
Woo! Oh, it's playing the Giganto monster theme. Well, I'm disappointed in Merriam-Webster. No, it's...
Over! You picked the wrong fight! Swallow blade!
Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Thanks! It's over!
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Infernal turret!
This one's mine.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down.
Here I come!
I'm
Take
out
this.
watching the sweep.
It's over!
Mega Ray. Gemini Aqua.
Take this!
Gemini
Try
Aqua.
harder!
Woohoo!
Now!
Woo!
Take it.
No escape!
It's over.
Sonic
Searing
thrust.
flame. Reload. Searing flame.
You're
Reload.
mine!
I'm out
It's
of ammo.
over.
I'm all stuffed up.
Try this!
Mega Ray.
Infernal
By the power of water.
Wind! Here I come! Mirage!
Sight. You're mine. Here, let me help.
It's over!
First aid.
Thanks!
Gemini Aqua.
Running low on CP.
It's
Nice!
weakened.
This ends now!
By the power of
Try
water.
this! Infernal turret! Swallow
This
blade!
one's mine. I never miss.
Bam!
You're mine!
Mega Ray.
It's over! This one's all
Do
mine!
it. This ends now.
Is this an insta-kill? No, it's just a shit ton of damage.
You're finished! Slash! Try this! Infernal turret!
Hear me.
Take
Flame of
it!
fury.
Woo, boy!
Strike.
Don't like that you're glowing now.
Searing flame. Reload. Gemini
Sonic
Aqua.
thrust.
That move.
Take this! Here comes the big one! Not today!
Mega Ray. I'm all stuffed up. Gemini Aqua. There.
Sonic
And
thrust.
again.
I like this orchestral mix. This theme has been around. And when I do what?
Focus your attacks.
Sonic Thrust?
Take this! Sonic thrust! Pierce through!
I never miss.
Slash! Infernal
I'm
turret!
almost impressed.
I think he's saying thrust.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
You're finished!
Mega Ray. Searing flame.
Oof.
Reload.
Slash!
Slash. He's just saying slash.
Reload. I'm out of ammo. I'm all stuffed up. By the power of water.
Sonic thrust! Here I come!
Take it. And again. Mega Ray.
No escape!
By the power of
Yee! 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 Oh! Oh shit. Wow. Things went downhill very quick. What the fuck?
first aid. Searing flame. Reload. Here's a healing art. First
I owe
aid.
you one! Take this! It's over!
Here I go. I'm only getting searing flame. Reload. I'm out. Watch and weep.
Swallow blade!
Gemini, do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Nice. Whew. Plus 10 max CP.
I can feel my power growing!
How much SP did I get? 297. Still not actually enough to learn what I want to learn. Go figure. Is there a rest area around here? Because if there is, I do not want to use an orange gel. But it doesn't seem like there is, so... But yeah, I sort of got... Ooh, that's the upgrade material I needed. That theme that I was playing during the battle has been in the series since Tales of Vesperia, so... It keeps getting more and more orchestrated as the series goes on.
Right, how about this?
Ooh, nice.
Strike! This one's all mine! Swallow blade, not today! You're mine!
Barely a blip on our radar.
I don't know. Swallow Blade kind of sucks, but it's the only flaming blade attack that I have right now.
Hey, about that elevator.
Yeah, I bet that garish-looking key will come in handy for it.
An opponent like this should be easy.
You got
You're finished!
damn it, Bennett!
Take this!
Die!
It's over! Destruction!
Where are you going?
Try this!
Here's a healing art.
Dang it.
First aid.
You're mine!
Destruction.
Don't know how much I like Destruction, it seems very slow.
Consider yourself finished!
I need to be stronger.
I have to keep wasting CP on these fires.
That equipment...
Yeah, that might be nice for defensive purposes, for presumably
should come
a
in
boss that's
handy.
going to use a bunch of fire attacks. Fire and earth, probably. I'm going to see if I can pop out fast travel, camp up, cook some food, boost my stats, and then come back. Is there any sort of sprint stamina, or can I just sprint forever? Can I go back to Elizabeth? I sure can.
We've reached our destination.
Yeah. Let's make the
This
defense
should
up meal.
definitely keep you guys full.
Are you making it for everyone? Yeah! Let's make the fancy new weapons. Damn it! Missing a stone fragment. Where can I get a stone fragment? Probably from a stone monster. Should I worry about it, or should I just go and fight the boss? Yeah. Let's go and fight the boss.
We've reached our destination.
Very nice. Alrighty.
This area seems different.
We're getting close. Balseph should be right up ahead.
That's what I figured. Time to introduce ourselves.
God damn it. Well, whatever. At least I
Finally,
cooked.
It's time to face
And
Balseph.
Shion does need more of that to unlock
Speaking
the
of
new title.
Balseph, how much would you say you actually know about him?
What do you mean? He's just a lord that holds power over Calaglia, isn't he?
Just a lord? He is far more than that. Balseph Erwolzi Teldilis is one of the 5 lords that sit atop all of Renan society. Even without his Fire Master Core, fighting him won't be easy. I've seen that man butcher who knows how many Zeugles, just to blow off some steam.
Is it his Master Core
With
that
sheer
you
brawn
stole?
like his, he can knock you out with one hit, and it's practically suicide to go up against him when he has a weapon.
Got it. Watch out for his attacks.
That's only the beginning. You can't expect to beat him by attrition. First, we dodge, then look for an opening. Remember that.
Sounds like our teamwork is really going to be put to the test.
Indeed. Don't screw this up and get us both killed.
Nice of them to make sure that you are really well and truly prepared.
Don't move, Balseph! So the vermin scum you call kin stirred up enough trouble for you 2 rats to make it all the way to me, huh? What a pain in the ass. Although, it was pretty impressive of you to deliver it straight into my hands. The Master Core.
You really think we're here to hand it over?
Why, of course not. You see, I'll be taking it back no matter what you say.
That is a
In any case,
big
this is the end
axe.
for you. You won't be getting out of here alive. The two of you were fools for coming here. Now die! A common thief believes she can usurp me? Don't make me laugh!
You can keep your accursed crown!
We're here to overthrow you and free the damn.
Spare me your weeping, slave! Damn slave!
Searing flame!
Take this! You're finished!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
You're mine!
Woo!
Here, let me...
Knocked me right out of the air.
First
I
aid!
owe you one. I'm not done!
Here I go!
It's over! Magna Ray!
Chaos? Here? Are you sure? Let's put Swallow Blade on Triangle, because I want...
Demon
Woo!
He's like a brick wall.
But he's wide open when he's in the air. I'll shoot him out of the sky.
Make sure you don't miss.
By the power of water!
Burn!
First
Here I
aid!
come! You're finished! Demon Fang! Take this! It's over!
By the power
You may be strong, but I'll never back down! No, it's...
Here. Let me help.
I feel like...
Stop trying to
I owe you one. No escape!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Shield, now!
Think again.
Nice! Special boost strikes.
Get it!
Just give it up, Baltus!
Severing wind!
Power of water!
Mirage!
This one's mine.
No escape!
Excited!
Special attack that deals more damage to down folks.
I'm out! I'm on
You
the way!
wreckers won't beat me!
Searing flame!
Take this!
Searing flame!
Slide!
Reload! I'm all
Stop
stuffed
trying
up!
to resist!
Demon
By the
Fang!
power of water! Searing
I'm not
flame!
done!
Slave!
You're mine!
Ew.
Let me help! First aid! There!
Yahoo!
No,
Searing flame! Reload!
Infernal Torrent!
First
Hit
aid!
dog! Demon Fang!
Stuffed up!
Ah,
Damn slave!
Here I come!
Here, let me help!
jeez.
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Flame of
Demon
fury!
Fang! Ignite!
Where are you going?
Here I come! It's you!
Flame
It's
of
you and me!
fury!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Really? Or is that just like the checkpoint of the fight? Does he have a second form? Is he the one who breaks my mask off?
Alphen. Alphen. Alphen!
Catboy!
Iron Mask!
He's a very big Goomba. He's like a Goomba
Balthus
lord.
escaping. Come on!
The cat ears are perfect. The cat ears are so good.
Running from a slave, Balsif?
Know your place, insolent boy! Up here, I've got more than enough space to crush you. This time your mask won't be the only thing that cracks.
That is enough!
I'm gonna absorb that and become Volvagia. Oh! Ifrit?
What the hell is that?
It's manifested astral energy. Not only that, it's alive!
Astral energy? From the spirit vessel? But wait, that was harvested for me! And that energy is supposed to be mine! It was the two of you! I knew it all along! And you'll pay!
Holy shit.
Flame, look what you did!
Without your spirit vessel, or your master core, you're nothing!
Shield, watch out!
There! Got it!
Demon Fang! That thing's huge!
Don't let it trap you in its flames!
Here I come!
Gemini
You're
Alpha!
finished!
Here's a healing arm!
Slash! Here I come! Swallow Blade!
Hear me!
Damn
Flame
flame!
of Fury! Strike! That monster's attacking! Look out! Mega Ray!
Slash!
Woo!
Take it!
Here's a healing arm!
Slash! Demon Fang!
Fade!
It's over!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning strike!
Oh, if you thought Ansem Kingdom Hearts
It's over!
had a lot of kitschy attack calls, let me introduce you to Tales games, Zoro.
Demon Fang! Not a chance! This
I
one's
never
all mine!
miss.
Slash! Demon Fang!
Here, let me help!
Strike!
First aid! There! Got
That
me!
fire monster's getting ready to attack!
Back into the fray!
Infernal Torrent! Demon Fang! You may be strong,
Let me help!
but I'll never back down! Demon Fang!
I'm only getting
Demon
started!
Fang!
That
Through
fire
escape!
monster's causing us a lot of trouble!
Let me take a crack at it!
Ready?
Here it comes! Down you go!
You really don't mess around!
Here I come! Now, while he's down!
Searing flame!
I'm not
Reload!
done! Slash!
Am I actually supposed to... No, I cannot target the fire avatar.
There! One more!
Eat dirt!
Stop trying to resist!
Reload!
Swallow Blade!
I'm
Try
out.
this! Infernal Torrent! Try harder! My turn!
Watch and win!
Infernal Torrent!
You're in trouble now!
By the
What?
power of water!
Did you just go over limit?
Watch out! We need to stop him! Reload!
Take this!
By the
It's
frost
over.
and wrench! This one's mine!
And you're finished!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Alright. He had an enrage. I don't believe it.
But why? Do you not possess the blood of a Renan? Why then would you turn against your own kind? It's always been the way of the Renan for the strongest to survive! And yet, you have allied yourself with a filthy Danon! You traitor! Tell me why? Why bring ruin and devastation to your own kind? Snakes like you should die!
A monster made up of astral energy? How do we even...
If his sword is made of astral energy as well, maybe...
Are you becoming the Avatar? Is that why he's named the Fire Avatar? Is that... You're using up so much of our CP. Man, that happened.
Zephyr was right. We did it. We brought down the wall.
Iron Mask. Your face is exposed.
You two are on the same page, yeah.
I remember it now. My name.
It is Iron Mask.
My name is... Alphen!
I don't know that that's like an inspiring war hero name you can shout at the top of your lungs. Oh yes, anime opening! Alphen and the Chipmunks. Alphen Greengrass Octopath Traveler. And now Alphen Tales of Arise, I guess. Tragically, I do not believe there is anyone named Theodore or Simon. Not in the party, at least, judging by the demo. Okay, you know the thing that gets me about, like, his design is that, Garrulus should know. He looks like a very, very anime version of Knight Artorias from Dark Souls.
Flames. I see. Flames. My name is Alphen. Where am I? What happened? The rage surging within me, fueling the sword. Where did it come from? This twisting fear that clings to me, holding me in check. The melancholic voice calling out to me. Who am I? Who was I? This is...
Wakey, wakey, sunshine. About time, too.
A week? You mean that whole time I was...
Out cold? Yeah. Just as well, too. When you blacked out, you were on your way to becoming a pile of ash. Shion's the reason you're still here.
Shion, you've healed me?
In
Used so
case
many
you've
cure
forgotten,
points.
we've still got 4 lords to defeat. You dying would have only slowed things down.
Guess who's back?
What about Balsef's troops?
We've got them on the ropes. While you've been getting your beauty sleep, most of the remaining Renans have either surrendered or fled. You slaying Balsef was the catalyst we'd been waiting for. Thanks to you, Calagli is finally free. You have my gratitude. We couldn't have done it without you.
I just did what anyone would have done.
Anyone who's completely immune to pain and could wield a giant flaming sword that could absorb the astral energy.
Forgive me, Alphen. It's good to finally see who I'm speaking to. Half of him, anyway. So, feel like telling us who you used to be?
I wish I could.
Memory's still giving you grief, eh? I see.
I feel like I used to be a very
Still,
cool boss
no
in Dark
sense in
Souls.
beating yourself up. You've remembered your name. The rest will come in time.
So, what happens now?
No, just everything. The realm may be liberated, but we're still destitute. You name it, anything and everything starts from scratch. But enough of that. You've just woken up. You should get a sense of the scale of what you've accomplished. Head over to the Gates of Fire and take a look at the view. It's a sight too many Dahnans died only ever seeing in their dreams.
The Gates of Fire.
I'll be your chaperone. Last thing we need is you tripping on a pebble and missing another week.
Remind me to laugh next time.
So we've been liberated from the Fire Lord. And now the hard part starts. AG restored by perfect evading or guarding. That's... Oh no. Do you have a hairball? Baby? Baby, do you have a hairball? Is that why you climbed up on me? So you could throw up right on me? Alright. See? She used so much CP.
That blazing sword's turned out to be even stronger than I expected. With that much sheer power, elemental types are hardly a concern anymore. You can bring practically any foe down to their knees in a flash.
Let's get a...
Don't count on me being able to pull off another Gates of Fire. That only happened because I had the help of that spirit vessel monster too.
Still, you did defeat Balsef with it, which means it can also take down the other lords. That's enough for me. Besides, if it was any stronger, your body wouldn't be able to handle it. Have you forgotten what happened after we finished off Balsef?
You know, that thing that
No.
to your memory was only 2
Aren't
seconds
you
ago?
scared of having that much power inside of you? Even a little?
Why would I be? Power provides opportunity. You don't expect me to simply throw it away, do you?
No, I get it. It's a good ace to have up our sleeve, that's for sure. I'll make the most of it. Well, as much as I can without becoming charcoal.
The cat accessories really add to his aesthetic. I like that the power we're talking about with this protagonist is less of a metaphor this time. It is a literal power of a blazing sword, but don't use too much of it or you won't die some sort of metaphorical death. You will just burn yourself to a crisp. I think I have to put it up here, really. For the best angle on cat cam. Lily hates shades or glasses of any time. Anytime I even pretend to try and put glasses on her, she just freaks out and darts away. It is nice to open the game with a successful revolution. I feel like it is a very slim chance that the
feel like
revolution will
somebody's
actually
watching us.
survive if it's in the
Maybe there's
first
someone
quarter
around
of the
here who
game.
needs our help.
Yes!
Nice.
Hmm.
Well, I need 2 stone fragments, so...
Got it.
Yes!
I'm sorry, nothing about COD is revolutionary. Even if they go back to the Revolutionary War, it is not going to be revolutionary.
What?
And she's gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This dude's trying to skip
Sure.
right ahead to the fashion endgame.
What? I'm not so sure.
Well, he obviously doesn't want regular clothing, but I also don't want to encourage him to become rich.
Right. Sure.
I wonder if that actually gets me an outfit. She owned the fashion critic.
Mm-hmm.
Still needs more time.
Okay, off we go. We're so high up.
They're like so high. What do you? I'm sorry. Basic joke. Where is Rock? There is a Rock Man.
Guess I misread the land. Dang it.
Okay, I was wondering if there was like actual fall damage, but it doesn't seem like it. Oh, I dragged the armadillos into the fight. Crap.
Swallow Blade! Try harder! Not a chance!
Reload!
Demon Fang! It's over!
Flame of Fury!
Demon Fang!
Burning Strike!
Take this! You're finished!
Woohoo!
Searing Flame! Reload!
You're mine!
I'm out!
You're finished!
I'm all stuffed up!
Swallow Blade! Try this!
Gemini
Infernal Torrent! That's what I like to hear.
No, it isn't. I didn't get any stone fragments.
Hey, didn't we find a recipe that...
Yeah, we can use this for it.
Potatoes. I had potatoes tonight. Not even in French fry form, like I usually do. I actually made mashed potatoes. They're a little dry though, but that was because I was out of butter.
No choice! Strike!
Go! I'm only getting
Try
started!
harder! Swallow Blade!
Mega Ray!
Infernal Torrent!
It's weakened!
Demon Fang! This ends now!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
The twist? What? The potato twisted? Classic song? I feel like that was one of the classics that was played in my house. And that I should know it, so really, my music knowledge is even worse. It's failing me even harder than usual.
Mirage! Demon Fang! Here I come! I can't lay a finger on you!
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see! Demon Fang!
First aid!
Okay, you've got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
I'm not done! All yours! Demon Fang!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
No, I mean like classic rock, not like classical. My family does like classic rock too.
Out of our way!
You're mine! Stardust! Come and face
I'm
me!
ready!
Here I come!
Hear me!
You're
Flame of
finished!
Fury! Burning Strike!
That buzzing is driving me mad! We're dead!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Looks like it could be worth something.
Mushroom, mushroom. Speaking of classic throwbacks. Where are the rock boys? Also, where do I have to, like, actually go? Gates of Fire, which is... Where is it? Garrison? Hmm.
This is...
Yeah.
Everyone fucking died. No.
What?
Oh, nice.
Shion. Why do you keep people at arm's length? You're always trying to wave it off whenever someone's nice to you. Like with Tilsa just now. Why couldn't you just accept her gratitude?
Our interests just happen to overlap. I don't want people thinking I'm doing things to be nice when in reality they benefit both of us. All I care about is that we hurry up and defeat the Lords.
See? That's what I mean. You want to defeat the Lords.
The cameraman wants these wings out of frame.
Now, I really believe you meant it. Yet despite that, you still took the time to help out those injured Dahnans, didn't you?
I did it because it was necessary and I got roped into helping out.
Is that the same reason you helped that kid in Balsev's castle? Because it sure didn't look that way to me. You've helped me too. Not just with my injuries, but by being there for me as well. Even though I can't feel pain, the injuries I get from using the blazing sword could probably kill me. That thought alone should be terrifying. But I know you'll always be there by my side, ready to heal me. It's because of you that I can wield the blazing sword.
Don't just close in on me like that! If you get any closer, you're going to set off my thorns, you know.
I was just trying to compliment you.
You were? What now?
Shion, your thorns! It's okay. I'll stop talking about it.
You will?
Is this like a physical manifestation of rejection-sensitive dysphoria?
In any case, I'm just glad that you're the one who ended up with the Master Core. Thank you, Shion, for everything. Now let's go check out those Gates of Fire.
Really? I swear. You're bad for the heart.
Okay, off we go. I don't see any soldiers or their pet Zoogles. Just strays roaming around.
They must have split once Balsev kicked the bucket and they had nobody left to obey.
An opponent like this should be easy. You're finished! Slash!
You're mine.
This could be useful.
Oh, there's something up there.
What's this thing?
I was hoping for a little more than that, but whatever. Are there any golems in this area? There's armadillos. There's this thing? The very open to the sky, Cave of Solitude.
Looks like this place opens out into the ocean.
The water's so much cleaner than what's on the surface. I even see fish swimming around.
Yeah, and boy do they look delicious.
What?
Never mind.
Well, I guess there is a fishing minigame, but I have to unlock it. Probably. I keep forgetting I have very powerful fast travel and I can just... Oh. I can't use fast travel at all. Is it just not being able to fast travel when enemies are near?
I won't
clear them
forgive
out.
you.
Here I come! It's over!
Mega Ray.
You're mine! You're finished!
Hear me, Flame of Fury.
Take this! Mirage!
I'm only getting started.
It's over! It's on!
By the power of water.
Let's keep our eyes on
No.
the prize.
Right, because there weren't any enemies at the very clearly a fishing spot. What's up there? Haha, you can't catch me up here, bees who can fly.
Right, here goes! Swallow Blade! Here I come!
Mega Ray.
Swallow Blade! Demon Fang! You're finished! Demon Fang!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Phew, what a rush. choice. Take this! Demon Fang! Swallow Blade! Take this! You're finished!
Searing
Here I
Blade!
come!
Reload!
It's over!
Searing Blade! Go
Here I
find someone
come!
else to take!
Stardust!
Starting to get the hang of things.
We're in good form! That monster that appeared from the spirit vessel, and the power inside the blazing sword, they're both born of the same thing. It's all astral energy harvested from the souls of dying Danans.
I suppose so.
And it was the Danans who gave their lives for today. Their power
I hope he has
After all this
asbestos
time,
weaved into his
is what
clothes.
finally destroyed Balsif and his wall. By the way, what happened to all the energy that we released?
It's dispersing and spreading across Dana as we speak, finding its way back to where it belongs.
And all the energy the Renans have harvested? Where does that go? Once Sovereigns decided, I mean. I'd wager they don't give it back, right? What? Can't tell the Danan that? Or about why you want to kill all the lords?
Oh, like you don't have anything to hide? The Blazing Sword. It's powered by the burning astral energy of the Master Core I possess. So why don't you explain how it manifested into the shape of that beast, hmm? Just how did you manage that?
How am I supposed to know? My memory's a complete blank, remember? Fine, be that way. It's not like we ever trusted each other any...
Oh! You're the next party member. You're probably the Black Mage. I think you were the Black Mage from the demo.
She's still not awake?
Not yet. Her injuries aren't serious, but she's severely weakened. Must have been quite a fight.
There's nothing we can give her?
If only. What with the beatings we've taken lately, we're barely getting by on the little provisions we have as it is.
That bad, huh? If there are no supplies here, then... That's it. We need Doc.
Doc? The same Doc that took care of you?
Yeah, he's back in Mosgul. If anyone can help us, it's him.
In that case, would you mind asking for us? I'd go myself, but I'm tied up here for now.
Not a problem. Leave it to me.
We regret to inform you Doc is probably dead. I don't know. I'm expecting a lot of unnecessary pathos that this game has been surprisingly good at averting so far.
I
Even
wonder what
compared
that
to some
girl's
other
deal
Tales
is.
games.
Never imagined anyone would ever come from outside the walls of Calaglia.
It's really not that big of a deal. There are more realms out there than just Calaglia, you know.
Maybe it sounds normal to you, but I've been behind those walls for as long as I can remember. Of course I knew there was more out there, but it sure didn't feel like it when unscalable walls are trapping you in.
I hate to burst your bubble, but the rest of Dana isn't much better. The world's full of lords who are just as bad as Balsif.
I know. That girl must have had her reasons for coming over to our territory. Even so, it's nice to see there really is life beyond the walls of Calaglia. It might not mean much to you, but that's reason enough for me to be happy.
Do I have the 3 stone fragments?
Yes!
I guess not.
Looks like we get to sleep with a...
Or dropped items, that's what I'm looking for.
Roof over our heads.
And now I'm back to square one with the stone fragments, but she now shoot better, so
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
dress made of bones. It's metal as fuck, gotta say. Shion's way more metal than Alphen is at the moment. Alphen used to be pretty metal.
Off we go.
Then I put cat ears on him, you know. Potatoes. Give me Rock Boy.
Guess I misread the landing.
This is not Rock Boy.
An opponent like this should be easy. You're finished.
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Nice.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Give me Fragment.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're mine.
Gemini Aqua.
Demon Fang. Slash.
Searing Flame.
Take this.
Reload.
Swallow Blade.
Gemini Aqua.
We're in good form.
2 stone fragments.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Swallow Blade.
One more.
You're finished. Try harder. My turn.
Gemini Aqua. This one's mine.
Take this. I'm not done. This could be useful.
Cool. I don't know why the stone fragments are so stingy.
I hate camping out. We've reached our destination.
I need to clear some room on my SSD. Loading times are not bad, but
Yes.
still
How's
longer
this?
than I would like.
Very nice. Yes.
Sure.
Sugo parts.
So different materials produce different weapons, each with their own respective properties.
We should probably move on.
Come to think of it, what's my sword made of? What material would it make sense with? Claws? Fangs?
In one ear and out the other.
That. Hey, have you figured out fashion yet?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet. Oh! Oh, wow. It's nice of them to mark the exact material on the map. Also, I could just fast travel miles, but I don't have to walk there. Fucked up.
It's so quiet. From now on, no one is going to be whipped or killed here ever again.
I mean, we still got a whole bunch of other lords to overthrow first. I don't think there's
Hey there,
anyone
Doc.
in this game who uses a whip.
Who are you?
It's me, Iron Mask. Though these days I go by Alphen. I finally remembered my name.
Alphen? I heard that was the guy who brought down Balsef. Wait, you're telling me you're the liberator of Calaglia? Our own Iron Mask? Of all the people.
I told you, I'm Alphen now. And I didn't overthrow Balsef alone.
Even so, that's no small feat you've accomplished. And you managed to get your face back, too. That woman with you, the Renin?
You know about her?
Only what I've heard from rumors. I wasn't sure I believed it, but now I suppose I must.
Doc, she...
Thank you.
You sure you should be saying that to a Renin?
I'm not saying it to any old Renin. I'm saying it to you, young lady.
I only helped because it was in my interests as well.
Of course, I would imagine as much. But that doesn't change the end result. The two of you defeated Balsef, and now all of us are free. That is a fact.
Thanks, Doc.
I should be the one thanking you. I'll never be able to repay what you two have done. Anyway, I'm guessing you didn't come here just to catch up.
Right. We need your advice. We found a girl who's collapsed from exhaustion, and she needs medicine. Do you know anything that could help?
If she's that weak, she may need a nutritional boost. The herbs I have here won't be enough. Oh, have you tried searching Kirt Garrison?
No. We passed it on our way here, but...
With all the Renin soldiers gone, that place should be empty now. If we're lucky, maybe they left something you can use.
Good idea. We'll take a look. Kirt Garrison. If I'm not mistaken, that's located off to the side of the railroad tracks.
Wherever it is, just make it quick.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm happy for you, buddy. Just handing out food? To all the poor people without any sort of means testing? Wild.
There's no point in reading it unless you plan on making it.
Hey, take it easy. We'll make it eventually. It's not like we can make it right now. Oop. That feels like some platforming. Nope. Which I'm not complaining about. I will always take no platforming over janky platforming.
You look happy.
Do I? I guess I am. Getting thanked for everything by someone I actually know? It made it really hit home that we made a difference.
That guy's a strange one, though.
Doc? I don't think he's that odd.
He is, though. He thanked me, a Renan, for helping, despite everything my people have put him through over the years.
Maybe Doc recognizes the difference between systemic problems and individual people.
He's free now. He doesn't have to act nice around my kind.
He's not acting. He means it. And like he said before, he was thanking you as an individual, Shion, not just some Renan.
That's what makes it so strange.
Would you have preferred he yelled and threw rocks at you?
I'm not saying that. It's just hard for me to understand him.
Okay, off we go.
I like that so far Alphen is like pretty serious but also still kind of a dork. I mean, Tales' protagonists are usually very good at balancing being incredibly serious with being incredibly a dork, but... You know, usually there's some teenager...
Looks like it could be worth something.
Like, usually their dorkiness comes in the form of, like, teenage awkwardness, and it's just nice that it isn't like that. You guys are worth my time. But until there's so many but more of you.
Try this! I'll take you all off!
One more! Mega Ray!
These little ones are hardly
Not
worth our
today.
time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content. Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Zephyr! Wind!
By the power of water!
Mirage! Looks like we won.
I'm curious. Okay. Not that I've been finding the game too easy or anything. Certainly I have been dying enough.
Think this is it?
How would I know?
It matches the description we were given, at least. No use standing around here hemming and hawing. Let's take it back and see.
I hope you're right. There's no way I'm coming all the way back here.
Just to be safe, I think before we head back to Ulzabek, we should maybe have Doc double-check this is the right stuff.
All right, but let's make it quick.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna take the cat stuff off of him. It just works so well.
Did you find anything useful?
We think this might work, but we wanted you to take a look at it first.
Let's see. Ah, this stuff. Yes, this'll work. I'd hurry over and give it to the girl right away.
Right, then we'll do that now.
Say Iron Mask. No, sorry. It's Alphen now, right?
No, Garrus just said it's elf, or as Keith said yesterday, he pronounces the apostrophe in fantasy names Boing, so.
Are you and that young woman planning to stick together moving forward?
Yeah, I think so.
I see. You know, I think things just might be starting to change.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure of that myself, but I feel like after being stalled for a long time, the gears of progress are finally starting to turn again. I imagine people are going to have things to say about the two of you, but you simply keep doing what you feel is right. If you ever get tired and need to rest, feel free to come back here. Until then, take care of yourself.
Thanks, Doc.
He's definitely not on Noon. We could fast travel back. I feel like walking.
Okay, off we go.
Not that the enemies are particularly difficult and will provide commensurate rewards, but...
Gotta break through! I'll take you all on!
Reload!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right! No time to hold back!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Let's dispose of the trash.
Strike!
Slack! Wind! Here I come! That gun of yours is real handy at a pinch.
It takes a true marksman.
Well, can't think of anyone better than you, Shion. This could be useful.
Harp.
Gotta break through! Demon Fang!
Hear me! Flame
You're
and
mine!
fury!
It's over!
Here's a
Here I
healing
come!
art! First
I
aid!
owe you one!
We're in good form. Is this what you asked for?
Perfect. That'll do nicely. I had a feeling you'd come through for us. With this, the little one should be right as rain in no time.
I can't believe it. Not often we get visitors from Cyslodia around here.
Cyslodia?
Calaglia's neighbor. One of the 5 realms. What with that wall in the way, I guess it's not surprising. But I've never actually met someone from the outside world before.
Up till now, the only time the gates ever opened was to let Renan convoy units in and out.
No one ever thought to stow away and hitch a ride out?
This place might be a living hell, but when next door is a living hell too, you start thinking it doesn't matter.
So you're Rinwell,
Oops.
and you're with the
Got my
Cyslodian
controller, my
Resistance
bad.
known as the Silver Swords. Your organization sent a group of you to establish contact, but you're the only one who made it through. That sound about right?
Lately, our people's oppression has become more and more severe. When we heard rumors that you had staged a successful
Special.
rebellion in
Goddamn.
Calaglia, we hoped that maybe you could help us.
News sure gets around quickly, huh?
If you ask me, it's awfully convenient she just happened to show up now. Certainly raises a lot of red flags.
Please, I swear it's true. My people are dying. I risked my life trying to get here so I could find help.
It's okay. You did well. We'll take it from here.
Hold on, Zephyr. You're not really thinking...
We'll join her. Alphen, start getting ready. I let you use the blazing sword, and we worked together to overthrow the lords. That was the deal, remember?
Wait, is that a Renan? What is this?
Take it easy. It's complicated, but she's on our side. She helped to find some medicine for you.
She did? But no, she's a... I can't believe it.
The Renans from other realms could attack at any time.
That's for you all to worry about. I've got bigger fish to fry.
That sword of Alphen's is our best weapon. We can't just go lending him to other lands.
Even if you keep him here, the blade's as good as useless without me on board.
And what makes you think I can't persuade you, Bright Eyes?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What makes you think you can? Last I checked, you couldn't even touch me.
Enough!
I did
Alphen,
not like those vibes.
What do you want to do?
I don't think I like Nath.
I know all too well the hardships the slaves of this realm had to endure. That's why I took up the sword. To help them. If Dahnans are being oppressed in other realms, then I have to help them too.
Nath has a point. We can't discount the possibility of further attacks, but now our struggle has grown. It's become much larger than just liberating the people of Calaglia.
We can't be in 2 places at once, Zephyr.
True, which means we're limited in our options. We play this the same way we did with Balseph.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You and me both, but it's too late for regrets.
Geez, really? You don't say.
So, you're really going, huh? Just the 4 of you?
Afraid so. Look after the place while we're away.
Always the smooth talker. We'll do what we can to hold down the fort.
We've got the Renans to keep us busy.
Good luck. Just remember,
Yeah, don't go killing anyone without good reason, I get it. I'm not about to repeat what they did.
let's move, people.
So, new party member? Like, for real? No.
Do you think we'll really be able to wipe the Renans off the face of Dana?
Who said anything about doing that?
But we have to in order to survive. Don't we?
Now that you have the Blazing Sword, and have shown that we really can win this fight, do you really think we should go around killing every last Renan?
But what else are we supposed to do?
Say we go around killing Renans, so they don't kill us first. In turn, that'll just make more and more of them want to kill us. Where does it end, once you enter such a vicious cycle?
Is that why you told Grenar not to kill any Renans without a good reason?
I'm not saying we should forgive and forget what they've done to us. But we can't let ourselves be dragged down by our own hatred either. Hatred comes in many forms. There's no one solution that will work in every situation.
I was gonna say,
we have to keep
if you're going to
searching
make
for new
more people
ones
angry,
if we're going to survive.
then clearly genociding
It's
the
a
people
lifelong
you are
journey,
making angry
finding
is the
answers.
solution. No.
That goes
no,
for you
it's
too.
not.
You have to come up with your own answers.
Hey, Zephyr. Why do you keep fighting?
What do you mean?
Until I met you and the Crimson Crows, all the Danans I ever knew just accepted their lot in life as slaves. Hell, even I was like that. But all of you in the Resistance are different. Even when you have no hope of winning, you keep on fighting. Why is that?
Come on, that's an easy one. I just refuse to live life as a slave. That's all.
Better to die fighting for freedom than to live as a slave, huh?
Let me ask you a question, Alphen. What does it mean to you to not be a slave any longer?
I guess it means living a life not being ruled by the Renans, right?
But what about the Danans who died standing up to the Renans? Are they still slaves? Would they be truly free if all they did was follow my orders and die without knowing what it was they were doing?
But that's...
Being a slave isn't just a position. It's also a state of mind. Don't become my slave, Alphen.
That is a dangerous sentence to take out of context and twist into meaning something entirely different from what he meant. But I can see that happening to this game.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
Take this! Do it! It's over!
Now don't go charging off.
Aw, man.
One final push. Guess we gotta roll with it. I'm sure I can put this to use.
What's that over there? Some kind of castle?
Yeah, one that belongs to a different lord than Balsef.
Right, that makes sense. You said there were 5 of them in all, right?
Right. We've still got a lot of work ahead of us.
We have approximately 75 hours of gameplay ahead of us. Woo!
Rinwell, right? It's nice to meet you. Does that little white animal follow you everywhere?
He's not a little white animal. His name's Hootle, and he's a baby owl. And he's the only friend I have.
More than any stupid humans.
I'll take you all on. You're mine. You're surrounded. Just stay calm. You're mine. You're finished. Great. On to the next! Flyers! Show me what you can do, kiddo!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
We got flyers.
I've got this!
All yours.
Pathetic!
Zephyr doesn't seem to be an official party member, but he's more of one than I expected.
Guess I misread the landing. No choice. You're mine! Fly! Try harder! Not a chance! Come one, come all! You're mine! You're finished! You're mine! You're finished!
There! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! We're in good form! No choice! Here I come! Severing wind! You're mine! I'll take you all on!
Here I come! You're mine!
See ya!
I'm not
By the
done!
power of one!
We're in good form!
Wait, this is where it came from. My bad.
What's got you so worked up, Hootle? Is
Oh,
that?
can you sense other owls? That'll be nice.
Watch out! They know we're here!
Flying Zoogles, huh? This is going to get interesting.
They're nothing I haven't seen before.
Shion!
I'll shoot them down, you finish them off. Got it? Knock a flying enemy out of the sky, and it's as good as done.
Right. See what I can do. Damn it!
I'm on it!
You're mine! You're finished!
I never miss!
What was it those Zoogles were attacking just now? Is that?
What?
It's nothing.
I only helped because it was convenient. We couldn't have moved forward without clearing out those Zoogles. I don't know what's got you ticked off at me this time, but I suggest you keep your hands away from me.
No one asked you to help.
Rinwell, she healed its wounds. She's not trying to hurt it.
How can you be so...
Oh. I have no sense of the scale of these things.
They look like they're talking to each other.
He's probably happy to see another owl. I don't think Hootle's ever met one before. He might have been wondering if he was the only one. Oh. You just barely got to say hi.
At least we know it's out there. I'm sure we'll run into it again somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. Right, Hootle?
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some kind of owl town.
Barely a blip on our radar.
I'm always impressed how good of a shot you are, Shion.
What do you mean?
Just that all I'm good for is throwing myself at things with all my might. By comparison, your way is more... how do I put it? Precise.
It's not like I'm that good of a... Look, that's just how it is with guns. If you miss, it's a wasted bullet you can't get back.
Is that why you're always aiming to exploit enemies' weak spots?
I wouldn't say every shot is that deliberate, but that is part of it. For example, if I see a flying enemy, I'll often go for their wings. Also, if I see a jumping enemy without wings, I know they're an easy target because they can't get out of the way while in the air. In your case, I bet it's easier for you to deal with enemies that stay on the ground, right?
Definitely. Things that can fly circles around me are a real pain to deal with.
Exactly. It's important to keep your enemy's movements in check.
True. Although your shots have the added benefit of stunning enemies, so it's easier to swipe materials from them. It's really helped out.
It's nothing, really. As long as you keep doing your part when we fight, I'd say we're even.
Lily seemed to take abrasion at the fact that we're swiping materials from enemies.
What are you staring for?
Do all Dahnan fighters look like you?
What, this getup? I pulled this number together from scrap and parts I salvaged throughout the years. Though now I'm feeling self-conscious, seeing how put together you seem to be.
Oh no, I was just curious. Did you fortify your right side more because that's your dominant side?
Partly, but mostly because my body's a little worse for wear after all these years fighting.
That makes sense.
So you take extra care to protect your dominant side with more armor. Smart.
Is fighting all you think about?
Well, weren't you just asking about this? I wonder if these are the skits I've missed.
So this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just, you know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but it doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
How come you don't have a scar on your hand?
A scar? What do you mean?
The Crimson Crows all tore off their own spirit cores, right? But your hand doesn't show any signs of ever having a core like theirs. Why not?
I was wondering this.
I don't know. I don't remember anything about myself from before Doc found me.
Seriously? You have that mask, you don't feel any pain, and you just happen to know how to fight with a sword? No way. You must remember something.
I'm not lying if that's what you think. Believe me, I wish I knew who the hell I am. But I don't. It's funny how I didn't have any time for soul-searching while digging up rocks in a mine.
Still.
Are you saying you've told us everything about yourself?
Zephyr.
It's bad manners to pry when you've got plenty to hide yourself.
You're not gonna ask me about my past too?
Only when I think it's necessary. You're a real man of mystery, I'll admit. That said, I'm not one to dig around in someone's business just out of curiosity. If you remember something and feel like sharing, you're free to do so. For now, I think that's good enough.
Right. Thank you.
Skits are a little more awkward when he no longer has the mask. I'm not gonna go through every single skit that I missed right now. A brand new, exciting life at school. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Is that forever, I wonder? A lot of these have different hairstyles, I'm noticing. Renwell, when are you joining the party? I want to use magic. I want to see what magic is like in this system. Oh my god, the exclamation point is still there. Killing me. Heal CP after battle. That's nice. Considering how difficult it is to restore CP.
All right, guys. Ready to go?
All right.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
I don't know that they would work in Elfin. I don't know that they would work... Well, let's... I didn't think it would work. They kind of do. Yeah, they need to update the line after seeing more than a few owls. It's a little weird. There are no owls. Owls are a conspiracy. Toot, motherfuckers.
I take it we're heading through here, then?
Everything all right, Zephyr?
Yeah, it's nothing.
What is that? A ring?
It was my wife's.
Your wife? You never mentioned anything about being married.
That's surprising?
You said was. So then, is she gone? Was it the Renans?
No, she was sick. I couldn't get her the medicine she needed, and then she was gone. I'd always wanted to show her the world as it could be.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. There are plenty of people out there more deserving of your sympathy than me.
But...
Let's go.
What is this place anyway? What's with these columns and steps?
No idea. I've never been here before either. Rena's convoy squads probably used it in the past.
I guess. It's definitely seen better days. You wouldn't know anything, would you, Xion?
Nope. And I'm not interested in learning either.
Actually, these are Dahnan ruins. See? You can tell by the way the columns are decorated and stuff. They're all old Danon designs.
Are you saying these things were built more than 300 years ago, then?
Yeah. I have no idea what they were used for, though.
It's amazing to think our ancestors were capable of making such structures. Hopefully there'll come a time when us Danons will be able to walk through here freely again.
That's exactly what you're fighting for, isn't it? Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, I just looked at the voice actors. I am glad Zephyr is exactly who I thought he was, Patrick Seitz. Yeah, no real surprises on the voice actors front.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me!
See ya! It's over! Talent Storm! Stay away from its target! Here I come! I'll run you through!
I'll fix you up.
That is coming! Talent Storm! It's on! Cannon!
I'm not done! Slap!
Gemini Aqua.
Not today!
Mega Ray.
Demon Fang!
Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Hell yeah.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
I'm very suspicious of these guys. Oh! And I was right to be.
Here I go. I'm only getting started.
Don't go charging off like that! Take aim and blast it out of the sky! Target shield!
Take this! You're finished! You're mine! It's over!
Dragon
Swallow
shot!
Blade! You're mine!
I'll run you through!
Mirage! Demon Fang! Blue Escape! Swallow Blade! Inferno Torrent! Take this!
Dragon!
It's over! Blue Escape! Swallow Blade! Demon Fang!
Talent Storm! Tusk!
Oh shit, when did she die?
I can feel the medicine working.
Take this!
Sight.
Never imagined there were Zeugles out there that could pretend to be statues.
That's because Zeugles don't come from nature. Who knows what else is lurking out there?
My bad.
Guess we have to be prepared for any...
It's freezing in here. And after how hot it was outside, too.
It must be the cold air sweeping in from Cyslodia. It's the polar opposite of Calaglia, so I'd get used to it if I were you.
Is the little guy okay?
Oh, don't worry about Hootle. He's from Cyslodia. Probably just nerves is all. He's not really used to being around other people this much.
What is kind of surprising about the voice actors so far is that
Rinwell.
there's
How
a lot
about
of
filling them
varying
in on what to
sound
expect from
quality in the
Cyslodia?
lines.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it doesn't sound like it was
Let's
all
see.
recorded in the same studio.
Well, for
which,
starters-
I mean,
Nobody trusts nobody.
given the past year,
Come
yeah,
again?
obviously, a lot of these people
Just
probably
like I
sent
said,
in recordings from
You never know when Snake
their
Eyes
home
are watching you.
offices. Snake Eyes?
That's what they call their lord's henchmen, apparently.
Their official title is the Bureau of Civil Observation. They've got cronies undercover everywhere, observing us at all times.
So? Renan surveillance was an everyday part of life in Calaglia.
Difference is, in Cyslodia, it's not just Renans. They've got Danons spying on each other, too.
Nah. Neighborhood watches, you say?
Or in other words, there's the Snake Eyes themselves, plus all their small-time informants.
Or like
All it
just
takes is
general,
someone squealing on you,
yeah,
and it's straight to
red
labor
scare
camp.
stuff.
No questions asked, no goodbyes. Course, informers are rewarded handsomely for their deceit. Everyone's always got one eye open, waiting for the moment to inform on someone before being tattled on first.
Hence the not trusting one another, huh? In that case, what do you think they'll make of us?
Hard to say. Although, not being from Cyslodia will probably help, honestly.
More trustful of outsiders than even your own people. Why go along with it, though? Why doesn't anyone take a stand?
Not everyone is strong enough to stand, Alphen. That's why the world needs people like us.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
Weak against wind.
You're mine! This one's gonna be tough. Severing wind! Here I come!
Flame of
Strike!
fury! Burning strike!
Eat dirt! Wind! I'm on it! You're mine!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
It does feel like that ends the fight
That's some
completely,
power
even
you
if there are other enemies.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Good to know.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
Here I go! You're mine!
Infernal turret!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Don't go charging off
I
like
never
that!
miss!
You're mine! Here I come! Dragon You're finished!
How's this?
Here I come! You're finished!
Talent Storm! Still got some energy left?
Need you ask?
Glad to hear it. In that case, cover me. Everything's coming up, Zephyr.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Win! You're mine!
See ya.
You're on! Demon Tank!
I'll run you through.
Kind of seems like there's a little bit of a dodge cancel.
Someone win! Here I come!
Like if I just spam normal attack, then he has this really long recovery animation at the end of it.
These little ones are hardly worth our...
Less talking, more pummeling.
But it seems like it can cancel out of that by dodging.
Whoa, take a look at that.
At what, the strange course? There we go. Oh, that just reminded me of a character named Enduro in Wild Arms. That seems worth inspecting.
Don't get careless!
You're mine!
Don't tell me!
You're mine! You're finished!
Talent Storm.
Demon Fang! Swallow Blade!
No wind won't save you from me!
This one's all mine! It got fired!
I've got
Run
it!
you through.
Let a marksman handle it!
Here I go! You're all yours!
One final push.
Right!
Give them all we got.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Pathetic.
one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
It's over! Start up! Talent Storm! You're surrounded! Just stay calm! Swallow Blade! Win! How's this?
I feel kind of funny.
Yeah, you're looking funny too.
I should probably do something about that.
Run you through! Demon Tag! Run you through!
There, one more.
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still... This ends now!
Consider yourself...
Boom! There's no follow-up animation. That is just a fight over.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Oh, nice. Finally. Alright, let's have you start on Lunar Blast next. Wait. Now the enemies in here are Earth Elementals, so... I want more aerial arts. I want there to be more than 6 art shortcuts, to be honest. What happened to the old press a direction? And press the art button to use an art. I can still work with this camera angle.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Swallow Blade! Here I come! You're mine! It's on!
Here I go!
You're finished! Burn in hell!
I'm only getting started!
Start up!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I definitely contributed to that.
That was almost too easy.
Come on. Orange tail! Is there a big boy?
Ah, guess I misread the landing.
There's a big
That is
boy.
one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
Are you sure? I mean, we probably can't, but I'm gonna try. It's only level 15.
We don't have
Come one, come all! Mirage! Pierce through! Run you through!
I never miss!
Swallow Blade! Win! Damn it! What's wrong?
nothing. Focus on the fight.
You're finished!
Got it coming.
You're mine!
Sonic thrust!
This is it.
Whoa, no!
Deep.
Easier said than done.
Shit!
No excuses. This is up to us.
Sonic thrust! The targeting shield! Sonic thrust! Take this! It's over!
Ready to go!
Take this!
Mega Ray!
It's not going to play.
Here's a
Here
hero!
I come! It's over! I owe you! Win! This one's all mine!
What are we looking at here? Also Earth Elemental?
Eat dirt!
See ya. Talent Storm. Touch
You're
cannon.
mine!
Searing flame!
Take this!
Time to
Run
burn.
through! Win!
Mega Ray!
Mirage!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Win!
I'll run you through.
Let me help!
See ya.
Mirage!
I'm on it. Mirage! Sonic thrust! Talon storm! Touch cannon! How's this?
Here I go. It's
See ya!
over.
Here I come!
Do
You're
it.
finished! Jump!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Take it. Pounce this.
I'm not done!
I'm all stopped up.
How's this?
Mirage!
See
Try
ya!
this!
Talon
Infernal
storm!
turret!
Touch cannon!
I'm not done!
Excited.
Focus light down!
Burn in hell!
Panic
Stardust!
Talon storm!
Watch and stop.
Ah, man.
I'm on it!
Here comes the big one!
No, I was doing so well.
Here's the healing art.
I'm gonna need more of that medicine. My turn! Take this! Cut! Slash!
How's this?
Slice! Severing wind! Take this!
This one's mine. First aid.
Try harder!
This one's mine.
Cleave right through him!
You can leave that to me.
Not so fast! I'm
Try
not over the
this.
hill just yet!
Touch!
Cannon!
Severing
Here
wind!
I go. I'm only getting serious.
It's over!
I'm only getting Searing Flame! Okay, this is tough, but doable, it feels like,
Here I go.
until Xion gets paralyzed.
See ya!
And then I get hit by the big move.
Ready to go.
I'll run you through!
Severing wind!
See ya!
Here I come!
Touch cannon!
Here, let me help.
Does he have a... He does have a separate core that I should have been attacking this entire time.
Let loose! Touch cannon!
There, got you.
Here I come! You're finished!
Slice!
Stardust!
Talon!
You're bruised all over. Did you
Yeah,
even
no
notice?
shit. We all are.
Guess I got carried away.
I'm not always going to be around to heal you, you know.
This one's all mine!
Here, let me help.
With that,
Sky is mine.
Severing wind!
come on.
Mirage! Talon!
Do it. This ends now.
Get it! Done it! Whew! Nice. Oh, she gets recover, finally!
That took more energy than I expected.
I don't know,
And
that
what
took
have we got here?
pretty much the amount of energy I expected.
Oh, I saw that in a book once. Those things are worth a lot.
You're a little bookworm, aren't you?
Cool.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! It's over!
I'm on it! Talon storm!
Take this! It's over! Mirage! Wind! You're mine!
How's this?
Here I come! It's over!
Talon storm!
Pierce through! Swallow blade! Here I come! It's over! Wind! Here I come!
Do it.
Mirage!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that.
Oh, okay, that doesn't. That does, in
Something
fact,
you wanted to
only
say?
target the one. And I've just been incredibly lucky targeting everything else
That
with
wasn't
it
even a problem.
up till now, or the very last enemy in the fight. must be a really big radius.
Don't get careless.
Take this!
Don't tell me!
Here I come!
Searing flame, reload! This one's mine.
No escape!
Back into the
This
field.
one's all mine! Here I come! You're on! Pierce through! Eat this! You're mine!
Do it!
I'm on it! You're slash! Sonic thrust! Win!
Another notch in the old belt.
Keep 'em coming.
You like that taste of freedom, kid?
I think I could get used to it.
Not much further now. The exit'll take us straight into Cyslodia.
You're brooding again. What's eating at you?
We defeated Balsif and liberated Calaglia from the Renans. Now, we're on our way to rescue our fellow Danans in Cyslodia. I'm committed to helping our people. You know that. But then, what happens after that? What's our endgame here?
Good question. The Danans vastly outnumber the Renans. Yet we rarely take up arms, because we know that when it comes to firepower, we don't stand a chance. Even if you succeeded in overthrowing the Lords and freeing Dana, then what? Lenegis would still hover over us, the Renan motherland behind it. If they so desired, the Renans could potentially use their might to wipe us off the planet in a second, no matter how powerful that blazing sword of yours is.
So what you're saying is we don't stand a chance. So what the heck are we even doing?
Not quite.
There's no sense in discarding today's victory for tomorrow's loss. If fighting yields even a single day of freedom, it will all have been worth it in the end. Who knows? Maybe that's the day we make preparations for the battle that will free us for good. Speaking pragmatically, the fact the Renans don't exterminate us all in spite of their technical advantage has to mean one thing. They need us. It's up to us to put a dent in their armor before they cotton on to our plan. That way, we force them to the negotiating table.
You want to
Danans
negotiate with
of
the
the
Renans?
world.
It's
Unionize.
dark, I know, but it's the only way to survive while securing our freedom at the same time.
This is about unionization, Rinwell.
But even so, we can't just...
If you lot are done talking, there's a lord we came to overthrow.
Oh man, she has
What
a
about you,
very
Shion?
different vibe.
What do you plan
the
on doing after
glasses.
we've given the Lords the boot?
All I know is, my reasons for fighting aren't the same as yours. I'm through answering these pointless questions.
So this is Cyslodia.
How far is it to the capital?
We've still got a ways to go. Also, the Zeugles here are different than those in Calaglia, so be careful.
Got it. Sounds like we should make sure we stick close together as we keep moving.
Agreed. Hey, Shion!
It'll be hard for me to use my rifle in a pinch if we're all bunched together. I'll follow behind the rest of you.
Right. Makes sense.
What's up with her? She seems even more upfront than back in Calaglia.
In case you forgot, we're in enemy territory now. If you don't get serious and focus on the task at hand, you'll be inviting trouble.
Don't take it personally. I think that's just the way she is. Plus, you have to remember, with those thorns of hers, she's probably not used to anybody being all that friendly to her. The fact that you can't feel pain means you probably end up getting closer to her than she's used to.
You really think so?
We're talking about someone who came down to Dana all by herself. But you don't see her homesick for Lenegis at all, do you?
No.
That alone speaks volumes about how difficult her whole situation must be.
Yeah.
It's your job as her partner to understand that, and give her the support she needs. You two are going to be stuck together for a while, so the sooner you make nice, the better.
Make nice.
Yep. Now come on.
Patrick Seitz gives
I
you
get that
dating
they're not
advice.
exactly on the best of terms, but is everything going to be okay with these people?
Rinwell, don't go too far ahead. You never know where Zoogles might be lurking.
Rinwell joined my party already.
Oh, we'll be fine. We've been able to handle them up until now.
Still, better that you hang back a bit.
Being
No
a mage.
way. I'm the one who asked you to come here in the first place, remember?
Yeah, but if we lose you, we won't know where to go. Besides, it's old guys like me who should be sticking their necks out first.
But
We need you
old
in order
guys
to
like
get in
me,
contact
who are
with the
35.
Resistance in Cyslodia. So stick close until we find them, okay?
I don't actually know
Okay.
if he's 35.
thanks.
But that does seem
Now
to be
you've
the
got me
average age for
wondering,
Patrick Seitz'
How'd you
character.
make it to Calaglia in the first place? I find it hard to imagine you didn't run into Zoogles along the way.
Are you good at hiding or something?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just really good at staying out of sight.
That's absolutely not it.
Wow. Still, you had to have been pretty lucky to have made it the whole way unscathed.
Lucky indeed.
War skits. All the dialogue.
It's crazy to feel just how much the temperature has changed from crossing over a single peak.
I feel like this
Is it
kind
really
of
that big of a difference?
biome diversity
Definitely.
is, like, not
Calaglia
really
was hot.
possible.
I can only tell from appearance, so... Achoo!
You might not be able to feel it, but it sure looks like your body responds to it just the same.
Seems like it. So if I sneeze, I guess that it's a sign that it's getting chilly.
They say that sneezing is often the first sign you're coming down with the cold, too. That's all the more reason you need to be careful with...
Ha-choo!
Was that also a sneeze?
I just bit my tongue, that's all.
No. It sounded a lot different from mine. But I could swear it was still...
It wasn't a sneeze, okay? Ha-choo!
Guess we both need to be careful out here in the cold.
Is it hard leaving Calaglia behind?
No. Actually, it's kind of a relief to be away from there.
Really? What makes you say that?
Because it was getting to the point where every man, woman, and child would come up and talk to me like they knew me. I could barely find a moment to breathe, let alone relax.
Well, what you did was kind of a big deal, you know. You overthrew a Renan lord and burst open the gates of fire.
Yeah, but that was only because I had the blazing sword with me. We wouldn't have made it to Balseph without you and the Crimson Crows, Zephyr.
Maybe so. But you're still the one who took him out in the end. It's only natural for people to look up to those who protect them. You're a hero to those people.
I never asked to be one. I never asked to take the place of a lord in people's minds. I don't want it.
You're a strange one, Alphen. That's for sure. If that's how you really feel, then hold on to that. Listen to those thoughts when you feel lost and don't know what to do. If you can do that, you won't lose sight of who you are, or what the right path to take is.
The right path to take, huh? What's this thing?
I've never seen lettuce in my life.
I've noticed the Zoogles here are a lot different from what we're used to back in Calaglia.
It's because this realm is so cold. I imagine they had to be adapted to fit the climate.
Meaning if we hit them with fire arts, it should be extra effective against them.
Does the blazing sword count as a fire art?
Normally I don't pick on the
mine! It's over!
I'm only getting started.
Lightning thrust!
Whoa!
Take this! You're mine! It's over! Don't let them form a pack!
I'm out of ammo.
See ya! Take this! Talon!
Hang on. No. Over to arts, please. Teleporting instantly into the air. It's pretty rad. It's pretty rad. Let's bring it out.
It's over! Take this! It's over! I'm on it! Try this! Infernal turret!
Yes, that does count.
I never miss. Who wants to die next?
How's this? It's over! That is coming! Take this!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Yes, the blazing sword does, in fact, count as fire arts.
That was almost too easy. I'll take you all!
Here I come! It's over!
Power of water!
Take this!
I'm on it! See ya!
Dazzle!
Talon Storm!
Hit through!
Burning strike!
Here I come! You're finished!
Mega
How's
ray!
this?
By the power of
Talon Storm!
You're mine! It's over!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Oh, Motto! And there's something up there. Oop. Nope.
Don't get careless.
don't tell me! Sonic thrust! This one's all
Gemini
mine!
Aqua! Mega ray!
Don't go too far like that!
Mirage!
Mega ray!
Try this!
I'll run you
Infernal turret!
Here I go!
Here I come!
I'm only getting started! By the power of water!
You're finished!
Let the
Infernal
marksman
turret!
handle this!
Dazzle!
Reload! Steering!
Still got some energy left?
Need you ask?
Glad to hear it. In that
Where
case,
you go?
cover me. Here I come!
It's over!
Talon Storm!
Mirage!
Steering!
Sonic thrust!
Reload!
Here I come!
I'm on it! See ya!
Try this!
By the power of
Infernal
water!
turret! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I still got a ways to go!
Yoink.
Gotta break through! Here I come! How about this?
Ooh, Sword Rain Alpha!
Lightning thrust!
Here I go!
Take this! It's over!
Airborne
Shut
beam!
up!
My spec!
Talon Storm!
Mirage!
Steering flame!
Here I
Reload!
go! You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Dazzle! All yours!
Hear me!
This time,
Fury!
Cody!
Burn in hell!
Talon Storm!
Dazzle!
Here's a
You're
healing
mine!
art!
You're finished!
First aid!
Sonic thrust! You're mine!
Flame!
It's over!
Reload!
I need to be stronger. Out of our way!
I'm not done!
By the power of water!
Sonic thrust! Be still!
I'm on it!
Mirage!
Here I go!
You're mine! It's over! Slide!
I will do it!
How's this?
Infernal turret!
Talon Storm!
Take this!
Cannon!
You're finished! Mirage!
For someone who's not an official party member, Zephyr, like, seems fairly fully featured.
Take this!
Touch cannon!
Lightning thrust! Stardust! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Everything's coming up, Zephyr!
He has victory lines? He has full arts that he yells the names of?
Would you like to warm up some?
Aren't there people in there?
You should let yourself unwind when you get the chance.
I guess there's no arguing with that.
Hey.
Hey!
Ooh, accessories.
Whoa!
Oh, that's what all the ore's for. Okay. Oh no, skill transfer. Oh, this is where the min-maxing is gonna come into play. The rarity and any bonus skills belongs that will be carried over to the accessory. Ores can possess up to 4 skills, and rare ores offer more skills. I see, okay. Ooh. Increase penetration? Dark damage, I don't think we have any.
Right.
I don't want to talk to her.
What?
Hmm. Ah,
Just great.
All right.
Nice.
right.
Right.
Gee, eat the damn stuff or I'll throw it away. She has a crazy metabolism, huh? Spread.
Happy now, Shion?
Yeah, I'd say so.
She better be, after all she ate.
I stopped before I was full, though.
What?
Chicken. What that chicken had some kind of preservatives.
Okay, off we go.
Also, I want to cook an actual meal because that gets me cooking credit, which I don't think Zephyr did.
It's awfully quiet around here.
The snow will do that. It absorbs a lot of sound.
Yeah, these are... What's the difference between resistance and elemental defense? Be nice if like. Alright. I don't know, maybe that's in the field guide. Parameters. AG is spec when using arts. Elemental attack. Mystic arts! There are mystic arts in this game! Of course there are. Okay, resistance is poise.
Meaning it could be tougher to hear anything approaching. That's worrisome.
It's rough that we have to be wary even of other Danans around here. What kind of person do you have to be to build a society that works like
Her
this?
hood looks
Regardless
enormous.
of what
I hope she
kind,
ever puts
we're going
it
to
on.
take them down, and that's that.
Right.
Elemental defense up, heal HP, repair aura up, heal CP, defense up, Babo Caddy. Experience boost. That's...
That turned out good, if I do say so myself. Well, off we go.
Tomato. Weird thing to note, but sure. That is true.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
You're finished!
Searing
Got
flame!
this!
Reload!
You're on!
There!
Pierce through!
Weak! I never miss!
Take this!
Take it! Do it! This ends now!
Yeah, done it!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Lightning pit! You're on! Burn!
I'm sure I can put this to use.
Oh, you're different, big boys. What's up with you? We're berserkers.
Take this!
Don't go charging off like that!
Talon Castle! Touch cannon! Here I come!
Did he say dazzle with lightning thrust?
Be still! You're mine! It's over! Stun! Touch cannon! You're ours! Here I come! It's over! Dazzle!
I think he says dazzle.
Here I come! That is coming! Strike! Swallow blade! Try this! Infernal blade!
Where are you going?
Pierce through!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Pathetic!
Yup.
Guess I misread the landing.
Messes me up every time.
I won't forgive you!
Take this! You're finished!
You're mine!
Try this! Infernal Torrent! Sonic Thrust!
By the
Flaming
power of
Thrust!
water!
Mirage!
How's this?
Here I come! You're finished!
Searing flame!
You're mine! Ha!
Here I go!
Really not getting a lot of SP right now.
I won't forgive you!
Take this! You're finished!
Flame!
Already through! Had it coming through! Flaming Thrust! Touch it!
What and sweet!
You're mine!
By the
It's
power
over.
of water!
You're mine! Ha! We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
I just noticed she used a art that they assisted, which is probably water.
Get lost!
Take this! It's over!
Searing flame! Reload!
You're surrounded!
Here,
Just
let me
stay
help.
calm!
Flaming Thrust!
First aid!
Okay, here I go.
Here I go!
Mirage!
I'm only
Ha!
getting
Eat
started!
this!
Let them mark
Swallow
me!
blade! Try this!
Do it!
Had you right.
Yeah, 8 SP even with a bonus. They need to start exponentially ramping that up. Yep.
Get lost!
Here I come! It's over!
One more! It's over!
Sonic
Mega
Thrust!
Ray!
Be still! Take this!
I'll run you through!
Searing
Mirage!
flame! This one's mine!
Be still!
Hear me!
Slash!
Flame of fury!
We got fire.
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Here I come!
All yours. Together, that wasn't even a problem.
I guess I am increasing my SP payload by 50%.
Houses in a place like this. People really live all the way out here?
The whole area is just little villages. This one's Messia 224.
Wait, I hear something. Sounds like people arguing.
Bureau agents. The Snake Eyes must be here. We should sneak past them. That was my original plan, since you all stick out so much.
Why? In case one of your people tattles on us?
It's the Renans who are making us do it.
Oh yeah? Like this Renan who you need to save your people's skin?
Well, that's rich coming from the Bright Eyes whose people are the reason we're in this mess in the
That's
first
enough.
place. But she started it!
3 centuries of resentment is too much to lay at a single person's feet. Same goes for you, Xion. You can't ignore the past when speaking of the present. Now, what's going on in that
Zephyr.
village?
It's a shame
If I
he's
were to
not a full
guess-
party member.
Someone tipped off the Snake Eyes and they're here to make an arrest.
You'd better not be about to suggest we get involved. I'm here for the Lord's head, and nothing more.
That go for you too, Alphen? Why did you come?
Why? To liberate this realm's slaves, of course.
Are you still a slave?
Me? No.
Then tell me what it means to live unshackled. I'll tell you what it means. It means living on your own terms, being your own master, thinking and making decisions for yourself, and being prepared to accept the consequences. Understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Like it was definitely your
So prove it
decision
to
to
me.
put the cat ears on.
Xion.
Don't start with me. I'm not going, and that's that.
I understand. Just wait here with Rinwell till we get back, okay?
You're going in without the sword?
Looks to be that way. This is my choice, after all.
Your choice? Listen to yourself. That sword's useless to me without someone to use it. You go dying on me out there and you'll put our whole mission in jeopardy.
But I need us all to make it safely to Cisloden.
Too many sacrifices have already been made. We came here to put a stop to any more.
You've sacrificed something too, huh?
Hide somewhere until it's over. You hear me?
Damn those Renans. I hate seeing Danon suffering under them here, too.
I'm surprised you're so angry about it. You're not even from here.
It doesn't matter where I'm from. Enough is enough with these people.
I am angry, cat boy.
Silence, Embedded! Anyone who fails to cooperate will be arrested and tried as a traitor to the realm.
Tried?
Damn it. Some rat must have sold us out again.
You there! You want me to haul you up on suspicion of civil disobedience?
But I didn't.
What? Leave him alone! An Embedded dares defy the orders of his lordship? Know your place, slave!
We can't use the blazing sword this close to the villagers. They could get hurt. But there are too many agents. Zephyr?
Law. Is that you?
Wait, what?
What's going on? Aren't we supposed to be fighting them?
You're alive.
What are you doing here?
Are you his son?
The realm of Cyslodia doesn't tolerate civil dissidents like you.
Law.
I hereby detain you in the name of his lordship!
Zephyr? What the hell?
Zephyr!
Here they come! Here I go!
Sonic Rock!
Damn it!
You're mine!
I'm going in!
Engaging! Fire in the hole!
Here I go!
Flamethrowers.
Be still! Engage! You're finished! Pull back!
Oh, I can't use the blazing sword. But I can use boost strikes.
Eat dirt! Zephyr!
And if I can't use that, then
Are you trying to get caught? I'm sure that can be arranged.
Not if I can help it! Sword ranges! You're finished! Roll him down! Take it!
What's going on, Zephyr? Why won't you fight him? Is that soldier someone you know?
Don't hurt him.
Huh? What are you...
Please.
It won't work, you know. You never change, do you? You've always got that damn-knowing look on your face! Zephyr!
I got it handled.
But he just...
He's my son.
Oh, so now you remember me. The nerve of you!
he clearly didn't
I'm gonna
forget.
wipe that damn look off your face once and for all!
Rinwell, you...
Oh wait, they've made a distinction that Dahnans can't cast astral arts. So that's interesting.
Watch yourselves. The insurgents are armed.
Enemy reinforcements. Use the sword.
I can't. The villagers will get caught in the blast. We need to fall back.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Zephyr!
Go. Leave without me.
You can't...
I'm not leaving without him.
Alphen, there's no time.
But what about the resistance? Everyone's counting on you!
Forgive me.
Ugh!
Zephyr, if you sacrifice yourself for this prick... God damn it, man.
We've waited all night, but nobody's shown up.
No sign of Zephyr or an enemy pursuit. So, what's the plan now?
You really need to ask? We go rescue Zephyr.
If he's under arrest, they'll have taken him to Cisloden.
What is
the
with your
capital city.
shading? What is...
Assuming he's still
What is
alive,
happening with
that
the
is.
game's shade? Is that...
I can't
probably one of
believe
the
Zephyr
things I
never
messed with.
told us he had a son. I wonder if the rest of the Crimson Crows knew about it.
And to find him in that village of all places. Some coincidence, huh?
Those fireworks you pulled out of your hat back there. They were astral arts, weren't they?
Shion, what the hell are you doing?
Except I've never heard of a Dahnan who can cast astral arts. Are you a Renan?
Like hell I am!
No, of course not. Renan's eyes light up when they use astral arts. And when you used an art, your eyes definitely didn't. So I guess that means you can't be a so-called bright eyes after all.
Are you uncomfortable
Sorry.
with your wing clipping through the wall like that?
You're right. Those were astral arts I used. Same as the ones wielded by the Renans. A long time ago, my family, my people, were once known as mages.
A Dahnan mage? Up until now, I'd only ever heard of them in stories and rumors. Though now I've seen one with my own eyes, I suppose I'll have to believe it.
We've been in hiding for a long, long time. Even before the Renans first attacked. That's why no one knew about us.
Even before the Renans?
Yeah. My ancestors were persecuted and targeted for their gifts.
But it was by their fellow Dahnans.
They lived hidden away all these centuries.
Oh, you think you need to be
keeping their
Renan to be a
existence secret
racist?
even from the Resistance. My mom and dad drilled it into me that I was never, under any circumstances, supposed to let anyone find out about us.
If that's the case, then why did you use your powers back there?
I don't know. One second I saw Zephyr about to be killed, and the next I was...
Dahnan astral arts. If the Renans knew such a threat existed, there'd be hell to pay.
Hey!
What? You think I'm gonna go to the Lords with this information? I'm a traitor and an outcast at this point. Or did you forget? What amazes me is how anyone could have that kind of power and yet keep it hidden all this time. Didn't you ever want to use it to help your people?
Don't talk like you know the first thing about me, Renan!
That's enough. Zephyr wouldn't want this.
We lose our
Listen,
dad and everybody
all I
goes
care
to
about
shit.
is taking out the Lords, okay? Which is no doubt what her people want too. Using her powers to help do it only makes sense.
Makes sense for who? Us? Besides, Zephyr comes first. We can't just abandon him.
Maybe you can't.
It's fine.
Huh?
You're going to save Zephyr, right? If so, you're going to need my powers to do it. I don't want anyone else to die.
Are you sure? Then let's get back to the village. We need to find out what happened.
What's wrong?
Nothing, just... I'm surprised how dark out it is.
Why wouldn't it be? It's still night after all.
No, that's what's weird. A lot of time's passed since we arrived in Cyslodia. You'd figure the sun would have come up by now.
Oh, right. It's not like this back in Calaglia, is it? To be honest, I completely forgot.
You see, Alphen, there's something called time
basically,
zones.
It's always night in this realm.
Huh?
It's been that way forever. It never gets any brighter outside, even in the morning.
So it's always dark all day long?
But how? How is that even possible? Did the Renans cause this?
Of course they did. It's complicated to explain, though. It'd be easier to just get to Cysloden so you can see what's going on for yourself.
I'll take your word for it. But right now, finding Zephyr comes first.
Yay! That sounds cool. Thunderblade! The recover sounds much more helpful at the moment.
I wonder how Zephyr's doing. If that law guy is his son, they shouldn't be rough with him.
I want to believe that. But those two didn't look like they're exactly on good terms. Actually, now I'm curious.
Don't worry,
Did Daniels
Taya.
enlist in the Snake
In
Eyes
a few
too?
hours,
Definitely.
the sun will
They're
come out and
useful
there
for
will be
surveillance
everlasting
here.
light across the entire
Doesn't win you
realm.
many friends on either side, though.
So why is Zephyr's kid working for the Renans then?
Alright, much as I want to pull up that skit and keep playing and keep going, I have been going for a while now. And it is late, I'm thirsty, and... Ow. Alright, thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll be back tomorrow night with next raid. We're gonna take on Eden 12 Savage, so that'll be fun. I'll probably keep playing this on stream until at some point when I forget and then something goes wrong and life gets in the way. I don't know. Anyway, have a good night, y'all.